What is going on, guys? It is your boy TKD 123 here back with a video, and today we're going to talk about the ongoing dilemma, the ongoing situation of PlayStation and crossplay. And so if some of you have been living under a rock and are not aware of this whole thing, I have a video dedicated to the entire topic on the channel right now. I'll link it down in the description, but the quick, just flash notes version of it is essentially Fortnite launches on the Switch. PlayStation users want to be able to connect their main Epic account that is associated with your PlayStation account onto the Switch, just like you can do with Xbox and everything. Essentially do cross progression and be able to carry your account onto different platforms and everything. However, the Switch version does not allow PlayStation accounts to do so. And it's not even Fortnite's fault or Epic's fault, it is mainly the PlayStation side of things. It's Sony blocking the ability for you to carry your Epic account that is associated with a PlayStation system, PS4 and everything. You are not able to carry that account onto the Switch version for whatever reason. It's caused a big issue and everything. However, we got some interesting intel from a PlayStation employee. And so this employee goes by Dark Cloud Online, and he was on the Weapon Wheel podcast, which of course I will make sure to link Weapon Wheel down in the description. They are a great podcast, a great group of dudes. I definitely enjoy their content the other weeks and everything. I've been a long time supporter of them, separately, just giving them a little credence here. Definitely I want to make sure that they get the proper credit where credit is due, so make sure to check out Weapon Wheel down in the description. I'll link all their stuff and everything. I'll link the actual episode as well. If you're interested in listening to a whole show, I will link the entire episode down below. So this was on episode 145, and they were asking him questions about the whole crossplay debacle with PlayStation and Fortnite and everything, and they just wanted a perspective from a Sony employee, like why is Sony so hesitant on crossplay, why won't they do it, etc., all this good stuff. And so what he said essentially is, I'm going to play the clip right now and let you hear verbatim, and then we'll talk a little bit more about it afterwards.
So Cloud, can you real quick explain, because you said our points weren't exactly it with the Fortnite Sony thing. What is it with that?
It's not just do crossplay anything with Microsoft. Whenever we do crossplay with anybody, that we actually have to give out our algorithm as well as our database in order to do things. Remember a long time ago, Phil Spencer, you can look it up, he said that, who knows, you might see Xbox games on PlayStation. PlayStation doesn't want anything to do that. By tying in, by doing crossplay, we now open ourselves up to do business with Microsoft, and they can push ourselves within our algorithm. We don't want nothing to do with that. That's why we never do crossplay with them. It has nothing to do with anything in the past or being in the lead. As a business, we just don't want to do anything business with Microsoft as that way. As a matter of fact, if you notice, when it came up, if you look at it right now, if you play Minecraft on the Switch, you can also get achievements on Xbox with that. Does that not help Xbox out? We do not want to help Xbox whatsoever with anything.
Wow, that's beef.
What about Nintendo?
Nintendo just doesn't care. They want to do anything right now to basically make their system more appealing to everybody, which is why there are all types of games on Nintendo. Think of Nintendo Wii, Nintendo Wii U, the games that you're getting now. If there is a Grand Theft Auto, there are even games like Senran Kagura where you feel on titties, sexual games, all those things. They want to appeal to everybody. What's really selling the Switch is not even mainly first parties. It's a place to play a shit ton of indie games as you go. They just want to capture more clientele as it goes. So that's their business. But we just don't want to do any business with Microsoft because it opens up our algorithm with them, and we don't do that. We still don't even do that in TV business. We never tell you how much use our TVs are. We never tell you what type of processors we use. We never tell you how many zones are in our TVs. We just don't like to share our information.
Okay. All right.
There you have it from a Sony employee himself, man.
Statement made.
There you go.
And so that was that. He pretty much gave a straight up answer here. Crossplay requires PlayStation to give out algorithms and databases to their competition, and because it could end up boosting their sales using the PS algorithm, they don't want to do that. They don't want to do any sort of business with Microsoft in general. And then I also found it interesting how he said that has nothing to do with them being on top or being ahead, because it makes sense, if they have the biggest fan base and the biggest player base in Fortnite currently at the moment. I know they probably don't, but PlayStation probably does, maybe, I'm not sure, but they've definitely one of the biggest player bases in Fortnite, so I would assume and understand that would be a reasoning, but I guess it's not. And the main thing was just that they didn't want to do business with Microsoft in any capacity, and they gave a really cool example that I didn't even think about, and it was right now when you play Minecraft on Switch, you can earn Xbox achievements, which helps Xbox. PlayStation just doesn't want to do that, but as a whole, the main reasoning is that crossplay opens up the PlayStation algorithm and database to competitors for them to benefit, which to me 100% when you look at it from from, you know, from that perspective and everything, and from that point of view, it definitely does make sense. You can't hate on that. At the end of the day, PlayStation is a business. They want to do business with themselves and boost their own business as a whole and not help out their competitors. At least to me, that definitely does make sense. I really do understand that perspective and everything. However, they sadly did not bring up cross progression, which at least to me mainly is the biggest issue here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand if we don't want to do crossplay. At least to me, it's not the biggest deal in the world. I get, you know, not wanting to do crossplay with your competitors, with your direct competitors, excuse me, with, you know, that being Xbox and Nintendo in a less former fashion, but mainly Xbox, right? Like, I totally understand them not wanting to do crossplay with Xbox, right? But to block cross progression on the Switch and to have this whole debacle where if you ever associated your account with a PlayStation console, it is locked out. You know what I'm saying? It is just in this weird limbo group where you cannot sign in on your Switch. It's super weird to me. Like, for example, if, like, okay, so let's say primarily you were on a PC, right? You mainly played Fortnite on the PC, you bought all your battle passes on there, you bought all your V-Bucks on there and everything. If you, for whatever reason, at one point in time, log in with that account on a PlayStation system, it automatically gets locked. You cannot take that main account onto the Switch. Even though you only logged in once on the PlayStation, you are now subject to not be able to have all your progression and stats and everything on the Switch because your account is associated with a PlayStation account. Even if you unlink that account to your PlayStation account, you still cannot log in with that account that is mainly your PC account onto your Switch, which I think is crazy. I think it's ludicrous. So in terms of crossplay, I totally understand this point of view. I totally, you know, get that side of things. Especially, it's not even up for debate because this is directly an employee who works at marketing at Sony and PlayStation. So I don't get how you could argue this point or, you know, think he's lying, whatever. He's clearly just telling the honest truth here. It's, you know, direct from the source and everything. So totally understand that point. Totally understood what he said about them not wanting to give out their algorithm and database and not wanting them to boost and be better in sales overall off of the PlayStation algorithm and everything. I totally understand that. But to block cross progression is where my main gripe is and where I wish there was a change in that format. I really wish that I could take my main PlayStation account and play it on my Switch, because honestly, it's making me, you know, less want to play my Switch and play Fortnite on Switch, even though obviously it's a better game on PS4. I totally, you know, like 100% get that. But there are times when, you know, I'm not at the crib, whatever, I'm out, and I so happen to have my Switch with me, and I'm, you know, not doing anything crazy. I would like to, you know, continue my Fortnite progression on my Switch, but I cannot do that right now currently. But there are some interesting new quotes coming straight from Sean Layden that we will discuss and talk about tomorrow on Fortnite Friday. So make sure to check out Fortnite Friday tomorrow, because we have a whole breakdown of everything, and I'm going to explain kind of the new element to this whole thing. But it doesn't really change the overall reasoning as to why they're doing this. This video is mainly just because of the real reason why PlayStation won't do crossplay, right? But tomorrow we're going to talk a little bit more about this whole thing, and we're going to have some new insight from Sean Layden, and it's going to be some pretty cool stuff that we could talk about. So definitely hype for that. But that's been my time here on this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. If you did, make sure to check out primarily Weapon Wheel Podcast. They're a great podcast, great group of dudes. Really do appreciate all the work they do. And also special thanks for them for letting me use the audio clip that was on episode 145 for this video. Definitely do appreciate it. Shout out to the Weapon Wheel Podcast. Definitely go follow them, check them out, listen to the podcast. Very, very good stuff. But make sure after you were done checking that Weapon Wheel to make sure to check back here on the channel on PlayStation Source to keep up with the latest and greatest in PlayStation. And make sure to also check out our description where you can find our Instagram and Twitter to follow us on those platforms. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. Make sure to also let me know all your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. Thank you all for watching, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one.